God be with you.
I want to get better at fist fighting.
Certainly.
I'd like to hone my skills.
All right, but it'll cost you. Now, pay close attention. God be with you.
Do you know anything about local brawlers?
Why do you ask?
I like a good punch-up myself, so I'm keen on meeting like-minded fellows.
Then you're in luck, because I'm in charge of all the fights here. You want to join in right now, or have you any questions?
What are the rules?
Nothing complicated. Don't you worry. First thing, no weapons. Try that once, and you're finished. Second, you can't walk away. Jump the fence, and that's the end. You lose.
How does it work?
Easy. You come to the others and challenge them. Wager against each other, and if you win, you get your stake back, plus the same again from the fellow you beat.
Oh, I like the sound of that.
Don't get carried away, though. If you beat someone and then challenge him again, you won't be too keen on betting. Understand?
I want to fight.
Well, if you're as good as you are keen, it'll surely be interesting. But before the two of us start brawling, you have to beat the others.
Who are they? And where can I find them?
Lads from Ujits. Mash, Maple, and Ma. Joseph.
Let's fight.
First, you have to show what you're made of. I ain't gonna bother with some greenhorn. Farewell.
Good health to you.
The fisherman sent me to you. Said you'd be up for a brawl.
Is that so? Well, we haven't had any new blood here for a while. But if you want an easier scrap, you should go to Maple or yourself. I don't like to blow my own trumpet, but I'm damn good. Either way, you'll wager a few groschen, right? Take care now.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
God be with you.
The fisherman told me you'd be up for a brawl. Is it true?
Aye, if you've a mind to. God be with you.
Jesus!
God save you. What can I do for you?
Are you one of the local pugilists? The fisherman told me you weren't averse to a bit of friendly violence.
I'm glad you showed up. It's been as dull as hell here. Joseph doesn't talk much and the fisherman is, well, slippery as a fish. Good luck to you.
Let's fight.
All right. Good. You put on a pretty good show. Let's spice it up with a few groschen, eh? Take care now.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
God bless. Can I help you?
I'd like you to show me some hunting tricks.
Certainly.
I'm interested in more advanced...
Wouldn't you rather learn?
Well, can you teach me to...
Certainly.
I'm interested in more...
Wouldn't you rather learn?
Well... Master Huntsman, is there any work for me here?
There's always something that needs doing. You're that Scarlet's lad, aren't you? Sir Radzig's lackey.
That'll be me.
Right. I saw you here shortly after the attack. My word, to get away from Talmberg like that, quite remarkable. It's clear you're not easily scared. So I do have a job for you.
I'm listening.
We've been having terrible problems with poachers lately. In Sir Divish's forests, we've been finding gutted entrails of deer and rabbit nooses all over the place. But no sign of the bastards who put them there.
And you want me to track down the poachers?
Indeed. Whatever you learn will be useful to me.
Do you suspect anyone?
Well, it's hard to say, but seeing how much harm they're causing, I'd say they're no crofters looking for a Sunday roast.
Shouldn't you be dealing with the poachers yourself?
I should, you're quite right. But when I ask the local folk anything, their mouths close up like clams. They're more scared of me than the devil.
Do you think the locals are in on it?
Well, I don't know, maybe. But even if not, they'll never talk to me. They're scared I'll dig some skeleton out of their cupboard. You know, the smaller the village, the bigger the secrets. That's why I need an outsider to ask for me.
I understand. I'll try to find out something about them. Any advice about where to start?
Certainly. Ask around the village. Somebody must have seen or heard something. And it wouldn't hurt to ask in the inn in the glade, the one on the road towards Neuhof. I've heard they serve good venison, and no shortage of it.
That's clear enough. As soon as I hear anything, I'll let you know.
Thanks for your help, lad.
See you later.
Jesus Christ be praised.
Listen, innkeeper. I hear you have some game here from time to time.
Aye, we have dice games happening most nights.
You make a stuffed bird laugh. You know full well what I mean.
No, I've no idea what you're talking about.
Oh, come now, let's not lie to each other. I know very well you sell poached game here.
Oh, you do you? And how's that?
I've seen a bit of the world. I know how things go.
Even so, I don't rightly understand what you're on about.
I've heard there are poachers in the area, and I'd like to join them.
Ah, you should have said right away you're in the trade. But before I tell you anything, I'll have to put you to the test. You know, I can't send every Tom, Dick and Harry to my friends.
Fair enough. What do you want me to do?
At the stud farm near here, there's a stable hand by the name of Yakub. Bastard got lucky at dice and won my favourite tankard off me.
And what's that got to do with me?
If you'd stop interrupting, you might find out. Anyway, he's so full of himself, he doesn't want to give it back, not even for money. But he's very fond of archery, and I don't need to add he likes to make bets.
I'm with you. If I can win your tankard back and bring it to you, you'll know
that you're not completely useless. That's right. So, get going. I'm thirsty, and I'll always taste it better out of my trusty old tankard.
Yeah. 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 I brought you back your tankard.
Ah, so you're not completely useless. Lucas will be happy to see what handy people I'm sending him.
I suppose this Lukesh is your poacher friend.
Now then, poacher's not a very nice word. I'll call him more a man who knows a good opportunity when he sees one.
I see. And where can I find this opportunistic friend of yours?
He lives on the hill to the north of the castle, in a small hut. If you're planning to talk to him, make sure you tell him I sent you.
I won't forget. Thanks.
I'm the one who should thank you. I'm looking forward to putting my lips to the old love of mine. Good luck to you.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
I hear you're able to open lock.
Certainly.
I want to achieve mastery.
All right, but it'll cost you. Now, pay close attention.
Andrew the innkeeper sent me. Said you had a job for someone who's good with a bow.
Did he now? That's all very well, but I don't know if you're a man I can trust.
So how can I prove it to you?
For a start, you can tell me why a lad like you wants to join us.
I've heard it could earn me some decent coin.
Yeah, that's what I used to think. Only it's not quite that simple.
Why's that?
You'll find out for yourself. Anyway, I have to check you out first. See if you're any good.
I'm listening.
To begin with, I need to know if you're at home in the woods. And if you're any kind of hunter, bring me some deer antlers, and then we'll talk.
Easy.
God's blessings.
I'd like to find out about the poachers round here who've been stealing game recently.
I don't know any.
No, I didn't mean it like that. I just wanted...
I said I don't know any. If you want to know anything, go see Blacksmith's Betty. She saw them feasting in the woods.
Feasting?
That's all I know. But don't worry. She'll took your ear off. God be with you.
Good health to you.
I'd like to find out about the poachers round here who've been stealing game recently.
If you ask me, there's some questions best left unanswered. But go and see Olener if you're determined. That old gossip will tell you all there is to know. Good luck then.
I'd like to order something here.
And what is it you'd like?
No deal. No deal. No deal. No deal. I'd like that. Thank you.
I'm sure you'll be extremely satisfied. Good luck then.
I'd like to order something here.
Uh-huh. And what do you want?
Proper bath. And my clothes need washing.
I'm sure you'll be extremely satisfied. God be with you.
God's blessings.
I heard there are poachers in the woods round here.
If only if it was just poachers. It's that sorcerer Hare. He's the one who's been running amok. I said he'd be back, and I said he'd be vengeful, and I was right both times.
Tell me something about Hannikin Hare.
Ah, that was all years ago. He turned up here one day. No one rightly knew where from. He claimed up at the castle to be a nobleman's son, and so he got the office of Master Huntsman, and Margaret was promised him for his wife. Nobody could have known he was a sorcerer.
And how did his sorcery reveal itself?
Well, he was able to vanish into thin air in the forest right in front of folk. And I've heard it said he spoke to animals, too. Though I don't know the truth of it.
That doesn't sound very convincing to me.
That's because you've not seen his marksmanship. It wasn't natural, the things he could do with that bow of his. They say he sold his soul for the gift of it.
I see. How did it go with Margaret?
I'm not one to gossip, but she was a flighty lass in her younger years. She could never make up her mind which one she wanted, the hare or Nicholas. So in the end, fate decided for her.
What do you mean? What happened with Hare?
Oh, that was quite something. And then some on top of it. Sir Henry of Lipo was visiting here at the castle, and Hare snapped his guardsman's neck with his bare hands. Of course, they found him out. But how do you keep a sorcerer under lock and key? You can't. That's your answer. And that Satan spawn slipped the net.
Oh well, it's quite a wild story. Any idea why he murdered the man?
No one knows, and most likely never will. But they say he was fully in the devil's power. There was a full moon, you see.
Was he actually seen killing the guardsman?
I suppose so. Else they'd hardly know who did it, would they?
That's probably true. There is one other thing I want to ask. Has anyone actually seen this Hannikin Hare? He seems to exist only as a bogeyman to frighten naughty children.
Oh, he exists all right. But he flits around in the forest like a shadow. They won't be catching him anytime soon. But Blacksmith's Betty heard some of their goings-on in the woods.
Goings-on? What's that supposed to mean?
Cavorting and raising hell. Sorcery! Hare meets up with his sorcerer's apprentices, and they feast in the clearing in the woods. In the morning, they turn into ravens and scatter. Or so she says. But you'll have to ask Betty for more. Who knows what she saw? Or what she was doing there with them.
Very well. I'll ask. Who does Hare want revenge on?
Master Huntsman Nicholas, of course. When the Hare disappeared, Nicholas took his Margaret and the Huntsman's posting.
So Nicholas came out of it well?
That one always knew how to land on his feet.
Thanks. I think I know all I need.
God be with you. Greetings. What do you need?
I've got a few questions about these poachers.
So ask.
I heard you saw something fishy in the forest.
That's right, I did.
Can you describe what you saw?
It was after dark, I remember that. I went up past the castle along by the clearing, and I saw someone had lit a fire. And there were figures singing and dancing, and I could hear the whistling of a pipe. And I could smell roast meat. It was like a feast of some sort. Only I thought maybe it was some witch's sabbath, so I was afraid to stay too long in case they saw me.
Did you recognize anyone there? Someone from the village, maybe?
No. Like I said, it was dark. All I could see was shadowy figures moving around.
Did you hear any familiar voices?
No. But I heard girls' laughter, goblets clinking, a piper playing. It sounded just like any feast.
Where is the clearing?
A short walk north of the castle. There's a track past the woodcutter's camp that takes you there.
Thanks. What do you make of this poaching that's been going on?
It's clear as day. Hannikin Hare's back. And putting those antlers on Nicholas's house? Well, we all know what that means, don't we? It's the sign of a cuckold, you mark my words.
You mean to say his wife's cheating on him?
All I'm saying is she might be feeling the urge. It happens in the best of families.
You're the first who's certain of Hare's return. So far, I've just heard vague rumors.
Well, now, I wouldn't say I'm completely sure. I suppose some other mischief maker could have done it, but better the devil you know. And everyone hereabouts knows Hare.
You were singing a different song not long ago.
So? Why do you want to know so much, anyway?
It's nothing to you, but I'm helping Nicholas unmask that local poaching gang.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Well, now you know. And you also know not to keep anything from me. So, what's the story with that Hare?
All right, I'll tell you what I know. But promise not to tell Nicholas I said it.
I'll do what I can, but I need to let him know what I discover. So, out with it.
It's to do with Margaret, his wife. They say it's all because of her.
Keep going.
I know full well Hare's here, because Margaret admitted as much.
What did she tell you?
That he waited in the woods till she came by and they exchanged some words. Words was all she told me. Who knows what they actually got up to.
And what did they speak about?
I don't know. But if Nicholas knew they'd met, he'd most likely kill her.
You're sure she wasn't saying it in jest?
Oh no. Margaret wouldn't joke about something like that.
You're the first who's certain of Hare's return. So far, I've just heard vague rumors.
Well, now, I wouldn't say I'm completely sure. I suppose some other mischief maker could have done it, but better the devil you know. And everyone hereabouts knows Hare.
Stop trying to wriggle out of it. Do you realise who I am?
Not really.
But you know who Radzig Cobbler is, right?
Of course.
I'm his right-hand man, and I'm helping the huntsman catch the poachers. So, I'm not someone you should be messing around.
All right, I'll tell you what I know. But promise not to tell Nicholas I said it.
I'll do what I can, but I need to let him know what I discover. So, out with it.
It's to do with Margaret, his wife. They say it's all because of her.
Keep going.
I know full well Hare's here, because Margaret admitted as much.
What did she tell you?
That he waited in the woods till she came by and they exchanged some words. Words was all she told me. Who knows what they actually got up to.
And what did they speak about?
I don't know. But if Nicholas knew they'd met, he'd most likely kill her.
You're sure she wasn't saying it in jest?
Oh no. Margaret wouldn't joke about something like that.
Who's this Hannikin Hare, anyway?
Hannikin Hare? There was a time he was master huntsman here, and Margaret was set to be his wife. But then he got himself accused of murder, and fled before they could hang him. Margaret and his job both ended up going to Nicholas.
So what's the story between Hare and Margaret?
It was complicated. He wanted her and she wanted him too, I reckon. At least for a while. But then she hitched up with Nicholas and now she says she never had a thought of wedding Hannikin Hare.
So what went on between Hare and the huntsman?
Those two? There was no love lost between them from the moment Hare arrived. And then Margaret got involved. It was a messy business.
Do you think Hare really killed that man?
Who knows the truth of it now? I did find it all a bit odd. Hare never was much of a hothead. But then again, no one really knew him that well. And Margaret never wanted to speak of it. Wouldn't hear a word about it.
That's all I need. Thanks.
God be with you.
Hey. Greetings. What do you need?
I'd like to find out about the
If you ask me, there's some questions.
I'd like to ask you about Hannikin hair.
I'm sorry, but I really don't want to talk about that.
The thing is, every time I spoke to someone about hair, they always ended up talking about you.
But I don't.
You aren't to blame for anything, is that it? Well, I am willing to believe you, but you do know more than you're telling, and I need to hear it.
Very well. You're right. And what would you like to know about hair?
How were things between you and Hare back then?
There was nothing between us. Hannikin Hare impressed my father with all his talk of noble blood. But I couldn't stand him, and I didn't want to marry him. And then it made no odds after he ran away.
So you didn't want it? I only asked because I've heard differently.
That's village talk. Of course folk gossip. Mostly they just want to hurt Nicholas.
What did you talk about in the woods with Hannikin Hare?
I see Betty's mouth's been busy.
Don't blame her. I had to work hard to weasel it out of her. Now tell me.
Oh, all right. Well, it seems Hannikin Hare's exile has addled his brain. He told me he'd go off with me, that he still loves me and nonsense like that.
And what about you?
What do you mean? I was so shocked, I couldn't even scream.
Is that all he told you?
He said if I change my mind, I'm to hang a garland of forget-me-nots on the house and wait for him at that place of ours.
Where was it you saw him exactly?
I wish I could tell you. The whole thing was like a fever dream. I almost got lost trying to get out of the forest. Even if I remembered, it wouldn't be any use to you. Hannikin Hare moves through the forest like a ghost. He knows every tree root off by heart.
Did Hare really commit the murder?
God in heaven, how should I know? Anyway, it doesn't matter now.
That remains to be seen. I want you to hang that garland on the lodge.
But I don't want to go anywhere with him.
You don't have to go anywhere. But tell me, where's that secret meeting place of yours?
On the way to Ujits. Back then, we used to meet by the great big beech tree, right next to the wayside shrine. There's a lovely view there, you see.
And what time will he be waiting there for you?
At dawn. What are you going to do to Hare?
Never you mind. The main thing is it will all get sorted out. And that's all that matters, isn't it?
I suppose so. Very well, then. I'll hang the garland for you.
That'll be everything.
Goodbye.